Hello everybody, this is Randi Thompson. Create your perfect riding position. Today our rider is Lisa and she's on her horse Sonyador. What I want to talk about here in this section is a tendency that most riders have is their saddle slips off either to the left or to the right when they're riding. Now from here you really can't tell what's happening. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk around Lisa's position. She's not going to change anything. I have not asked her to do this so that you can see where the saddle lines up on the back of the horse's back. As you can see, Lisa's seat slides over to the right. Now I'm going to go over to this side. Again, you can't really see it from just standing back here and looking. Let's see if we can see it from the front. Not so much. So you can barely tell it from the front. You know, if you look straight, the horse's neck is straight and everything. Oh, wait, one leg is longer than the other. Isn't that interesting? So when the saddle slips over, the leg gets longer. And what do most people do? They shorten the stirrup thinking that's going to fix it. That doesn't fix it. So what we're going to do is we're going to show you how people can do it. Now first, I'm going to pretend something with Lisa. Lisa, we didn't bring any tape, but this is something that everybody can do. Is I would take a piece of white tape, our tape, and I'd put it in the center of the pommel. Can you point to the center of your pommel there? That's right. That should be in line with her neck all the time. You see it? Is it in line? Is it in line?
No, absolutely not.
Okay, good.
Over to the right.
That's right. That's right. Now, before she adjusts this, of course, the most important thing to make sure is that the girth is tight. Well, we know the girth is tight on this horse, so this saddle is not sliding away because of the saddle. And it could be because of the horse, but she doesn't have those big round withers. You know, what do they call those, round withers? Some horses don't have withers that hold the saddle. This one does. All right, so now we're going to go around to the back again. As I said, the easiest way for you as a trainer to see this is when you're behind. You'll see them going slightly over. Usually they go over even more than this. But I should see a straight line from the back of her pants through the back of where the horse's tail lines up. All right, Lisa, what I'd like you to do is line up the center of your saddle with the horse's neck. That's right. Now, how does that feel while you do that?
Actually, now I feel more centered, and you know it's definitely weird while you do it, but the saddle.
That's right. Now that looked really. Yep, it makes your saddle more level. And what happens with most riders is they don't even realize that they've started shifting over to the side. So when they first get their saddle straight, they're going to feel like they're crooked. Now the question is, well, we can have them look at the piece of tape on the horse's neck, and that helps. But that doesn't really help when they start moving. You know, once they start trotting or cantering and stuff, it's really hard to focus on that, isn't it?
Yeah, and looking down like that.
That's right. And it really doesn't solve the problem because, you know, the problem is you're putting more weight into one leg and one seat more than the other. So, Lisa, I'd like you to just walk, please. And I'm going to go behind Lisa and just stay around this area if you could. Yeah, just do a straight line. All right, since she takes her saddle off to the right, Lisa, would you mind dropping your right stirrup? Good. Now, what does that make you do?
More to the left?
Yep, you have to sit more to the left, don't you? Notice she's adjusting quite a bit here. Let me get up close so you can see it. That's it. Now, how often do you feel yourself adjusting as you do this?
Oh my gosh, every 3 strides at least.
That's right, a lot, isn't it? That's it. So now just walk around for a minute, and I want you to, yep, you can go around there, and I want you to tell, yeah, you'll notice now as you're watching it, because you're all learning how to teach and teach yourself, you'll notice that Lisa has to bring her weight over to her left side like every 3 steps. And that's normal. It will take months before she gets the feeling of keeping the saddle in the center of the horse's back.
At this point, it feels like I'm leaning too far to the left, but it's probably now I'm centered.
That's right, that's right. And if you didn't hear what she said, what she's noticing is she feels like she's leaning over to the left, and that's simply because she's been putting most of her weight on her right seat bone and probably her right stirrup. So by taking them away, and you notice we've got a nice, quiet, safe horse, by taking it away and having her work on just feeling the feeling in the walk first, she'll start becoming aware That's right. It's okay. It's not a bad thing. It's a good thing.
I didn't notice how much I was doing it.
I know.
Pointed it out.
It's true. It's
I
true.
feel like my left leg keeps lifting up.
And that's what it does, because your left leg doesn't normally support your position the way that it could. Good. And you know, it's just enough to think about that as you're walking around, isn't it? So this is one of those exercises, if you work with it on a student, this might be one of the main focuses that you're doing for that lesson, because it is a challenge. Now we're not...
When I'm, well, actually, never mind, I won't ask about that because it's trotting, but would the seat make me push one hip further?
Absolutely. So Lisa's question was, at the trot, how is this affecting her position? What it will do is it'll twist her when she's posting, where one hip comes ahead of the other. And it'll probably be her right hip coming forward all the time,
yes,
which means that it'll affect the way the horse is moving. That was a very good question. Now, we're not going to trot today. I wanted to show you the basics of how we can do this at just the walk. Again, nice, quiet, safe horse to do this on. And, of course, Lisa's up there working hard, because this is a work in process, isn't it?
It absolutely is. It takes a lot of thought.
Takes a lot of thought, especially going to the left. So you will find that your riders going to the left doing this exercise will have to work twice as hard. So let's just see how it goes to the right. Let's turn around to the right here, Lisa. That's it. Just change your direction. And let's see how it feels there. She probably won't notice it as much as she did going to the left. That's it. Now, Lisa, you can also throw your inside stirrup over the top of the saddle. There's different schools of thought about this. Some people like to throw their stirrup over the saddle. Some leave it hanging down. You know, it works either way. You know, on a quiet, safe horse, this is fine to let it drag, you know, hang down a little bit. But most people have it swung over the side. What does that make you do, Lisa?
Well, I feel like I'm leaning a little bit to the right now, so I've got to...
Hard to lean to the right without that foot to put your stirrup to put your foot in, isn't it?
No, actually. I mean, I guess maybe I'm dropping it more because it's not in, but...
Or maybe you're used to that right side being so strong that now that you have to hold the left stirrup, it makes you have to ride even, so the circle doesn't feel straight now, does it?
No, it doesn't.
Good, good. How many times do you have to adjust with this?
You know, I think basically a little bit more, just because I find myself tipping more instead of keeping my seat, you know, my weight in my well, not my weight, but more into my outside stirrup, just because I'm so used to putting more in my inside stirrup.
That's right. That's right. Yes. Yeah. Okay, now let's do a check on Lisa and see how she's doing with her saddle. Do a straight line. Look at how much more centered it is now. So all we did for this exercise, again, this is something that you can do at home or anywhere else that you are, is have the rider, make sure they're on a safe, quiet horse, check your girth, have the rider drop the stirrup, usually it's the left foot, and that will help them align their body so they can keep the saddle in the middle of the horse's back. Again, the trick that we added to it was adding a piece of tape to the center of the pommel. If you have a saddle horn, you can keep the saddle horn, and all the rider has to do is look at where the saddle horn is or that piece of tape, and they will know immediately if it's their position that's taking the saddle out of where it should be in the center of the back.
It's amazing how once my foot is out of my right stirrup, my saddle stays nice and straight.
It is. It is. Good, Lisa. Thank you.
You're welcome.